So, today, like every other week, we are going to touch base upon an important topic. So, what today we are going to look up to is that we are going to touch about practice spirituality, or you can say practical spirituality. We all, for now, are meditating for a period of time. It varies person to person how much time we are into meditation. It could be few weeks. We are old in meditation, few months, few years to few decades. But what is very important for any person to understand or to follow is, are we practicing the spirituality? If 30 minutes or 1 hour every day we are practicing meditation, then we must be living amazingly in the remaining 23 hours. If that is happening, then this session is not for you. But if there is still something lacking in your life, despite practicing so much of meditation, despite understanding so much of spirituality, then the session is for you. So, first thing, let me tell to all of you is meditation does not remove any of your life's challenges. It just removes the unconsciousness or unconscious way while we face them. So there are so many people, especially when I counsel women, they come and they share their challenges saying, there is lot of work, there's a lot of responsibilities. Once the work reduces, I'll practice meditation. Once the kids grow up, I'll practice meditation. Or once my mind becomes calm, I will practice meditation. So, one thing that you need to understand is life never settles down or life never slows down. Spirituality is not a extra activity, but it is a basic essence of life. So now the question comes of the people who are saying we already practice meditation, but still the life is not the way it has to be, or I'm not happy or I'm not joyful. Then, for those people, I reiterate again that if you meditate, problems will not reduce, but the way you handle them changes. Your awareness increases, your suppressed patterns surfaces, and you also become stronger while facing all your hurdles. For example, before meditation, even if you had a small fever, a small viral fever which lasted for a week or two, you would definitely be stuck that what happened, why it happened to me, what should I learn from it, what if this repeats. But after meditation, you understand that, okay, either it is a part of healing or it is a part of my karma that I'm facing. So let me just repay it. And when you repay, there are no conditions for it. So you understand every situation that has come into your life. It could be the loss of your loved ones. It could be any kind of ailment in your body. It could be any kind of disputes or conflicts that you're facing at your work or at your relationships. Is all of things are meticulously planned by your soul. So when you know, okay, these all things are what I have got, then you start preparing yourself to handle it better. For example, a student who's studying class 10th, he will see, oh my god, there is a lot of syllabus and it's really going to be tough. But there is no other option because I have to study 10th and I have to give my board exams, and the better I score, the better it becomes for me. So, what he does, knowing his shortcomings, he starts preparing himself better so that he can give the exam, right? Similarly, if you see meditation that we are doing, that 1 hour or half an hour of meditation that we are doing every day, it is nothing but our preparation towards the life which will come after it. So for anybody, it is not For a student, the preparation and writing the exams both is an integrated part. Similarly, spirituality and living life is also an integrated part. Spirituality is not separate and life is not separate. When we understand this, then so many things for us just resolves. So life is a field and spirituality is how you walk on it. And meditation helps you to make this walk a better walk. So when I say practice spirituality, where should we practice spirituality exactly? To give you a very simple example, there are so many families who have litigations with the land, who have their own properties, but it is in the court. So there are so many people who, day in and day out, keep fighting for the land which they own. So, what happens here, especially when any land is in dispute, it doesn't resolve in a month or two, but it takes years or sometimes even decades. So while if a person is not practicing spirituality, it's definitely a different story. But if a meditator is there, he's practicing meditation and yet he's seeing that, his land is still in dispute. There are so many things which are coming. So what happens? His first chakra, Muladhara chakra, gets imbalanced. Because why? Muladhara is all about the survival. Land is all about survival. Food is all about survival. They say no roti, kapda, or makan. That means food, the clothes that we wear, and the house that we live. It's all about survival. So, if any of these things are not met, then insecurity rises. And that insecurity creates an imbalance in your Muladhara chakra. So, what a person should practice is, yes, you're practicing meditation. Meditation is nothing but you're gathering a pool of energy. But along with that, you should also have right thoughts to maintain that pool of energy within you so that you can spend it at the time of need. But if the mind is improper, all that gained energy will go out just in fraction of second. So here, especially where people are struggling very hard with the basics of life, what they should tell to themselves or how they should rightly educate themselves is to have patience. Everything is meticulously designed by us. Maybe your land is in dispute because of your past karma, or your lands, or all these things are in dispute because it's not your personal karma but it is a family karma, which is the shared karma. So since you are married in some family and those people are into those litigations, it also becomes yours. So all you need to tell yourself is this takes time and let me have patience. Someday or the other day it will get resolved, but that day my Muladhara chakra will not get into balanced. Suppose, say, a dispute takes 25 years to get solved. 25 years, your Muladhara chakra will be in imbalance. And after 25 years, the dispute will get resolved, but your chakra will not get resolved. The imbalance will not get resolved. Because so much pressure you would have already given, so much energy you would have already given, that when you take the upcoming lifetime, this will reflect there. Maybe in the next lifetime you will be born rich, but still there will be a lot of insecurity. And you'll think, I don't know why, from where is it coming? It's all coming from the past life. So, whenever you practice meditation and still you have these basic survival threats, then tell yourself, life will change. Let me have lot of patience with this. Similarly, to give you another example, see, lot of people, they ask for abundance. They want good money flow on one side, right? But on other side, they really worry. I don't want, on one side they want money and on other side they say, I don't want money. Money is just not my type. Actually, I don't need much thing. I'm not so much interested in it. Or they have a fear that I also meditate, and spirituality somewhere in their mind is anti money. So, on one side, they want money to meet all the requirements, and on the other side, they say, I don't want money. So, this conflict will not help them to attract abundance. Another example, a woman, a girl wants to get married. Okay, she wants to attract a great life partner into her life on one side, but on other side she deeply fears that what if he comes into my life and he takes out my freedom? What if he comes into my life and after that my life goes into control? What if he comes into my life and my freedom goes away? So, although she wants to attract a good life partner on one side, but she is giving enough validations to herself that get why she should not get married. So it's like 1x she wants a person, 3x she doesn't want, she fears. So this thing will not get manifested. So everywhere we have to check what what chakra is attracting things and what chakra is actually rejecting things. So even though deeply I want one thing, I'm not getting those things. Why? So that means on one side the chakra is balanced, but on the other side the chakra is imbalanced. Some people want success, they want recognition, they want leadership. So it's all about the third chakra, solar plexus. But on the other side, they doubt. They doubt, what if power comes tomorrow? What if I fail? Or they have a lot of self doubt, or they feel power is not good. You know, power might bring lot of other things also, which I'm not ready for. So on one side they want success, but on other side they say no, no, this should not be there. They have lot of self doubt, shame, fear. In that case, again, the success, the recognition, or the leadership will not come. So what is blocking it is the self trust. They are not able to make the decision making. They are not able to tell that do I want this, or I don't want to want this, don't want to own this. For example, I know a person, a very good friend of mine. She always says, you know I want to become more and more and more famous. And this she's telling from right from my childhood. So already she was, a very famous person in our childhood days, in the school, college. Later also she was famous, at least in that group. Then she used to say, "No, I want to become more famous." In the bigger groups, she did become. Then she said, "No, I want to become more famous." Then one day I asked her, "Why you want to become so famous?" And she said, "When I become famous, it is easy for me to bring anything. Even I make the most successful innovation, what is the point if I'm not able to take it outside?" So, there, my fame, my recognition will help it, or someone else will make an innovation and I will exactly take it to the world. So, that way, that will really help me. So, then I understood her very root cause of becoming famous was that she wanted to do something to the world. It could be getting an art piece out, getting an innovation out, or anything, but she wanted to contribute something. And on the other side, she was deprived of she was deprived of recognition in her childhood. So now she wanted it so much that she always wanted to attract it, so that she becomes famous, she becomes successful. And what she did not get when she was a child in her family, now she wants to get it from the whole world. But the beauty is, I always, whenever I see her, she always says, I want to be more famous. I want to be more famous, most famous. So there is no second thought, or there is no self doubt in her. She's very clear that, yes, I want to be famous. And yes, I am famous. I will be more and more famous tomorrow. So that one thought of her makes her more and more attract those kind of opportunities. So you see, there is no conflict in it. But for most of the people, on one side they say I want to be famous, but on the second side they fear, will I be able to manage life after it? Will I have time for myself? Will I be able to do all the things according to my principles if I get famous? So, for all these things, the doubt comes and that doubt pulls you back. So, be clear on what you want and then check, really, do you have, is there any other frequency or is there any other energy that is blocking it? Now, one more very important thing is, when a person has a block in their heart chakra, that means a person wants to speak, a person wants to express his or her truth to the world. But on the other side, they have a fear of rejection or they have a fear of conflict. They have a fear, okay, I will speak this, but what if these words that I spoke, that will create a rejection or a conflict? Then what will happen? Most of the people doesn't come out or doesn't voice their opinions because of this fear of failure or fear of rejection. That okay, I'll go and approach them, but what if they close the door on my face? I remember in the very earlier years when I started practicing meditation, taking few pamphlets, I went to the next door to teach them meditation, because in our society PSSM we are very much trained that you practice meditation today and you teach it on the same day. So that way I taught to many people. But one incident which I remember was when I was in Delhi. I prepared all the materials to distribute and everything, and I went to my neighbor's house. Just I rang the bell and I said, I want to teach meditation. And they just opened the door. They did not even open the second door, that another, there's a net door which they did not open. They just opened the main door. They said, what do you want? I said, I'm coming from so and so building and I want to teach you meditation. And immediately they said, no, we are not interested, and they closed the door. That one incident, that banging of door on my face, it impacted me so much. I immediately ran to my house. I closed the door and I sat inside and I was thinking, what just happened? At that time, I was in college and I was already an extremely shy person. Plus, this incident made me go even much more back. But later, after few weeks passed, again I told myself that there are so many others, to so many other people I have taught meditation and they have received it well. There's so many people whom I've taught meditation, they have listened, they have heard it, they've done it once, they have left it. There are also people who have heard it and they have not done it. But this case is a different one where they have directly said no. Then I understood the pattern, that if anyone used to reject anything on my face, at that time it was very defensive or unaccepting. But later, the moment I caught that pattern, that okay, if no is equal to rejection and that is very offensive, the moment I understood the pattern broke. From next time, after few weeks, when I again started going out, even I have increased the volume of reaching out to people so much that the rejections did not remember them. It did not mean it didn't happen, I didn't remember them. So you see, the pattern recognition is very important. Definitely, when so many times that we speak, there are times when we will be rejected. There are times when conflict will arise. And definitely, 9 times of success, you won't remember that one failure. You will always, it will get strongly rejected, registered by the mind. But when we understand that, okay, these kind of patterns will be there, when we are prepared, it will not affect us so much. So, that preparedness is very important, and that is what is practicing spirituality all about. Just imagine if everything was fine in your life, okay? First of all, why would we meditate? If you see, in last 10 years, practicing meditation in people's house has increased. Why? Because in last 10 years, challenges in life has increased. In our childhood, very few people meditated, but now every person is meditating, not because they want it, but now it has become so very essential. So, if there are no challenges in life, then how would you apply what you have learned through meditation? And remember, applying spirituality is never the fireworks, but it is all subtle patterns. So, remember, at any stage of life, for example, you have high stress today. Why don't you go and sit and meditate for a few minutes? Instead of saying this is very stressful, instead of overthinking, why do you meditate? Why don't you meditate? You think a lot or something very bad has happened. Why don't you sit and meditate and calm yourself down and get again access to your intuition? Anything happens, why don't you meditate and why don't you reset things? If you're stuck at any point of your life, why don't you take guidance instead of repeatedly crying? If you have lost your loved ones in the recent years and that has really shaken you off, then you must ask yourself one question. Even after I know that there is no death, why the sorrow is coming? After I came into spirituality, thousands of times I heard there is no death, there is no death, there is no death. Then, after 4 years, my grandfather and my grandmother passed away. And that day, there was huge tears in my eyes. Not because I was missing them or not because I had attachment with them. I did not, I had very less attachment with them. But still, there was tears running from my eyes and I got freezed for 24 to 48 hours because that day I understood that practically when death comes, I don't have answers. I didn't have answers at that point of time that what is life? Why are we taking? Why are we living? Why are we born? What experiences? Why are we here to experience what? And when do we vacate the body? Why do we vacate the body? And after vacating the body, where do we go? And is there a rebirth or no? What is a formula for it? That day I understood that I do not know anything and I'm just lying in confusion. So that their death has really, it was like a second wake up call for me where I understood that although I'm practicing meditation from past 4 years at that point of time, I do not know spirituality. And from that day I started running day in and day out to increase my knowledge, to increase my wisdom through books, through senior masters, through experiences, through getting guidance. And after many years, now I would say, of course, in spirituality, there's always a course of refinement. There's always a fine tuning there. But after many years, I would say, when a death happened in my family and again in the neighborhood, that did not shook me. There was no fear. There was no freezing moment. But then I understood, okay, these things happens. These things don't happen. This happens to the soul after when the death comes, and absolutely there was no worry in me. Why? Because spirituality was applied, because I have practiced spirituality. So, one litmus test to you is if you have suffering for anything in your life, that means you're not practicing spirituality or you're not practicing spirituality in that dimension. Another example I would give you, one woman recently who came to me, she was absolutely doing well in many dimensions of her life. And it was very surprising to see that even after going through so many things, she's so strong. And that too, not because of meditation, but before meditation. Then meditation happened to her, and she was going very brilliantly forward. But then she told, ma'am, you know what? My family situations are so and so, and I get so much of, every day I have to give lot of tests in my family. So then I told her, and which I'm also telling to all of you, if you're waiting for any kind of change to happen in the minds of the people whom you're living with, then you're wasting your time. Every woman should take her stand when it comes to taking her decisions. If you're waiting that, okay, tomorrow my husband's mind will change, tomorrow my father's mind will change, tomorrow my father in law's mind will change, and I will wait for that. If you are waiting for such moment, then you are not practicing spirituality, because spirituality is all about you and your soul. Certain things can never be waited. Certain things we always have to take our steps, like living with our principles, like practicing meditation every day. If your family members are saying don't practice, and if you have stopped, then you're delaying your enlightenment. So, whenever it comes to principles like being vegetarian, reading spiritual books, increasing our knowledge, standing on all these principles, there should never be a compromise, even though the other person understands or not. When we are in great hands, of cosmos, when we are taking care of ourselves, when we are taking care of ourselves in the sense physical health, emotional health, mental health, if all these, especially these three bodies are fine, these three bodies are perfect, then you can take care of everyone else. So every day keep checking whether you're practicing spirituality or not. If there is suffering, then deeply look into things that where you have to address. Okay, this is the root cause of this suffering. I have to fix this. Take an action. When you take an action, that means you're practicing spirituality. If you're overthinking about the problem, then you're not practicing spirituality. So, thank you very much. This was all about today's session, Practice Spirituality.